Namaste. Hey, it's Zandrous. What's up?
Right. Basically, the point of this video is to go through sort of the different generations of Pokemon and list off our favourites. I think the quickest way and the best way of doing this is top 4 per generation.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, knowing us, we'll probably go off on a tangent and we'll probably end up giving our opinions on all the Pokemon, but
Maybe.
we'll see how,
Depends on the situation.
we'll see how this goes.
Though I might have to actually rattle my brains around a little bit to get each generation in order, and then just pick the 4 specific ones for each one.
This is why I made a list.
Yeah, I'm lazy, and I spend all day doing another list. Okay.
In all fairness, I never actually did the list until we were trying to get this sorted out. I'm literally just doing it now. So.
Yeah. Well, I can actually just pull up Bulbapedia. Be lazy like that.
Get you.
Hey, if it helps, it helps. I really don't.
Alright, well obviously we're going to start off with Generation 1, the one that most people are familiar with. And you know what? People might sit there and say that I'm a bit of a Gen 1 fanboy when I kind of am. Honestly, Gen 1's my favourite out of all the generations.
I'm not really overly picky.
Well,
I like certain generations. I like certain generations more than others. I mean, personally, Gen 4 is my least favorite.
I actually don't mind Gen 4.
I don't hate it, it's just my least favorite. I mean, the exception to that is going to be Heart Gold, Soul Silver, because those are Gen 4 games, but they're remakes of Gen 2.
Yeah, so. The focus is on Gen 2 of those.
Yeah, but so, I mean, if we just look at the main games, not counting the remakes or anything like that, then, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
To kind of go from there.
I mean, I don't think every Pokemon in Gen 1's a winner. I mean, Jinx and Mr. Mime are 2 of my least favourite Pokemon ever.
I don't mind them.
I really can't stand either of them. Yeah. So, alright then, getting into my list of Gen 1 Pokemon.
We'll start with you.
Yeah,
it's your show.
I'm going to save my favourite till last, although anyone who knows me knows what that's going to be.
Yeah, probably.
But I'll start with my 4th favourite from Gen 1, which is Onix.
Okay, I can kind of get behind that, I guess.
I love Onix. I've always loved it. It's a giant snake made of rocks. I mean...
We know you like giant snakes, James. Come on. It's no secret. you like a rock hard. Walking right into it. That's all you're doing.
No, go host this show on your own.
How come every time you hit this, it turns red around the edges? It's like actually playing a video game.
Does it?
I'm not joking. Yeah, when you hit it, it turns red right on the edges, like you would on GoldenEye or something. No, it's when you do it to the side. It's just barely getting the corner of it.
Oh, I've got no idea. I've got no idea.
I don't know either, but it was just noticing it. But go ahead. So why do you like Onix outside of it being a big rock hard snake?
You put me off, man. It's hard to take this shit seriously now.
Well, Pokemon is super serious.
It is. It's serious business, man. You should have seen how seriously I took it when I was a kid.
Well, we all kind of did then, to be fair. Shrink this down a little bit. No, not go down. Shrink down. Move it. There we go. That makes it easier. I'm trying to get more space in my desktop here. Bam! I can see better.
Fantastic.
So is it a typing thing for you, or is it just a design?
No, I've never really been that into rock types. I've just always had an Onix on my team. I've always come across an Onix. I've always caught it. It's always just sort of ended up in my team.
Is it just something from the anime, maybe, or?
Yeah, the Crystal Onix episode is one of my favorites.
Yeah, the Crystal Onix thing was pretty cool, no doubt there. And
to be fair, it isn't even shit in battle. Okay, it's got really shit defense against anything that's got a type advantage over it.
But yeah, I think its special defense is pretty decent, but its physical defense is the problem, isn't it? Or it's the other way around, I can't remember. I think Onix is
it's not defense is shit. Yeah, it's not competitive at all, to say the least.
Well, but, yeah, not until it evolves.
Yeah. But you know what, its stats ain't even that bad either. It's got me out of some really tough situations in the game, so...
I can kind of get that. So I guess my turn. Well, I think I'm going to make this one a fan favorite because this is one I've always enjoyed, and I still enjoy getting games, and that's Butterfree. I think it was a very well-designed Pokemon. as far as color scheme and just the general aesthetics. It's something that's really pleasing to the eye. And it's actually, for the early game to mid-game, it's a pretty competent Pokemon for in-game use, especially considering the bullshit psychic types for the first gen. Even though I don't think they really had the bug disadvantage at the time. I'm not sure. I think they might have, but there wasn't really a lot of offensive bug moves back in Gen 1 days. But the remakes helped fix that. So when it comes to fighting against Sabrina, you're good to have a Butterfree on your team for sure. But I've just always kind of enjoyed it. And even it's shiny in the later generations, when she actually started getting to see the color designs and everything and started doing shinies. I love its shiny.
Am I the only one, though, who's a bit disappointed that the shiny Butterfree wasn't the pink one?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of disappointed that we haven't seen a Alolan version of pink. Just make it Bug Fairy. Boom, done.
There you go.
Bug Fairy,
You got it sorted.
And I know. Game Freak, hire me. I got this.
You know, honestly, like, people call me weird for this, but I actually don't like Butterfree as much as Caterpie. Like, I actually love Caterpie.
Hey, everyone has their taste.
It's not next on my list. That's not my next choice. But
I figured that much.
the only reason...
I love the simple bug that can be squished by a foot.
Hey, Caterpie's awesome, man. But the only reason I actually opted to evolve my Caterpie into a Butterfree is because on Generation... Like, in Pokemon Yellow, when you had to start off with Pikachu to get past Brock... I always evolving Caterpie into Butterfree at level 10. It learns Confusion. I know that Psychic isn't necessarily got a type advantage over Rock.
To confuse is always helpful.
Yeah, and it's also the most powerful type move you can actually do against Rock type Pokemon at the time in that game.
Yeah.
So that was the only way I ever beat Brock in Pokemon Yellow, is evolving Caterpie.
I really don't remember, to be honest. I haven't played Yellow in so long. I don't remember what I used to beat him. Actually, I think I do. Nidoran.
Yeah, I think most people go for Nidoran, but I always went with Butterfree.
After Viridian, that or a Mankey. Just one of the Nidorans or a Mankey and just go through them.
I always went with Butterfree simply because Confusion was a really good sort of move to use, and even though it's
really
not
good early game.
Yeah, even though it doesn't have a type advantage over Brock, it was always useful to have it.
It doesn't even get stabbed, sadly, because it's bug flying. So. Well, you do.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll go back to you for the next one on your list.
Alright, well, the next one on my list is kind of funny because it's a Pokemon I loved so much as a kid, I actually named my hamster after it. I had a hamster called Magmar.
So what you're saying is your hamster was flaming.
He was flaming.
I believe it. He was red hot. I can see why Magmar might be on your list. Magmar is pretty awesome.
He is. In fact, that me naming my hamster Magmar was where my mom put her foot down, and when I had my third hamster after that one, she said, "Right, I'm naming this one," because the first hamster I had was called Godzilla, and the second one was called Magmar, and that was when my mom realised letting me name animals was a bad idea.
One thing I've always found weird about the design for Magmar, this to me personally, outside of the weird pucker lips going here,
what, the forehead?
Was like, yes, the butt head. It's like the ass cheek. So is it a headbutt technically, or is it a butt head?
Hey, what about those flames coming out of his head? Does that mean he's doing a Kenny on South Park and lit his fire on fire?
I think it's more he just went and made a Taco Bell.
I don't get the reference because we don't have Taco Bell over here, but I assume it's funny.
Well, think Mexican food, spicy, and burning asshole.
Ah.
All right. If I have to pick, I always like getting this one, and the problem is I don't know which one I should pick because they're the same line. But Cubone, I think, is what I'm going to go with because I just think it's one of the most adorable Pokemon from the first gen.
I thought you were actually going to say its backstory makes you love it.
No, but it makes you want to hug it.
That is true.
It is kind of creepy that just kind of, puts his mom's head on its head.
Yeah, and Pokemon Origins can go fuck itself with the scene that they actually did in episode 2.
It's whatever. It wasn't going to be too direct. I figured as much because at least they didn't do like they did in the manga, where you see Arbok getting sliced in half by a alien.
But have you seen Pokemon Origins?
Oh yeah, I've seen it in English and Japanese.
Oh, look at you!
Look at me! I am awesome, and there's a train coming.
To be fair, Pokemon Origins was kind of shit. I don't want to see it a second time in any
I
language.
like okay enough. It was a nice distraction. Tell you one thing, you can compared to the new Sun and Moon anime.
I know, what the hell does Ash look like in that?
He looks like he's de-aged about 3 years. Looks like he's about 7 or 8. I'm not very fond of the redesign. I
No.
know a lot of people aren't. So, his head just looks wrong. His face looks wrong. So wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as Cubone goes, I've just always enjoyed getting them in the games. I do try to evolve at some point. And while I like Marowak, it's a very effective ground type. I just have a soft spot for Cubone. I really do.
Yeah.
It's just adorable. So, and come on, just making a little thing, throwing a little bone around, going bone ring. It's cool.
Fair enough.
I'm looking forward to getting a Alolan one and then evolving it to the new Marowak because that is so kick-ass.
Alright, so moving on to my one then. My next one, number 2.
Oh, yeah, you're number 2.
It's honestly a Pokemon that's on most people's list. Gyarados. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Mega Gyarados, though. I'm not a big fan of the way that looks.
Yeah, it's like a really weird submarine.
Yeah. It's like they did their best to try and bulk it up a bit, but the problem is that
it does look weird. I agree. I'm not a big fan of it.
Part of the appeal of Gyarados is that it was a long, slender sort of fucking sea serpent.
Yeah, it was basically sea serpent. And it's just awesome, and then the other way it looks like it's like a reject from the yellow fucking submarine.
Yeah. So. But Gyarados is actually one of the best Generation 1 Pokemons to use in battle anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was just watching TFS's Soul Silver Nuzlocke, and they were taking on Lance, the champion, today. So spoilers for anyone this, and also watching TFS. I'm going to spoil a bit of their final fight. So we've been warned. But they were fighting the Gyarados in that one, and holy shit was it hard to go through. They had so much trouble beating it. I think it was running like Waterfall and Dragon Pulse. I can't fucking remember. Flail. And like one other. Shadow Claw maybe or something like that. So that's kind of weird. I really can't remember if that was the last one or not. But yeah, they were having a hard time getting it down.
Not as weird as the fact that Gyarados can actually learn Thunderbolt. At least it could back in the...
I think it still can, I'm pretty sure. I think it does on my games. I'm doing a Nuzlocke on Soul Silver 2, and I'm actually getting ready to fight the League, and I have a Gyarados on my team. Though I'm bringing it along with Ice Fang. So, yeah. Surf, Ice Fang, Bite, and I forget the other move. But yeah, it's going to be fun once I get there. I just got to level it up. So I'm using a Gyarados on my team.
Well, I mean, Gyarados is one of those Pokemon that can learn so many different types of moves that it's really hard to...
Yeah, even those that are completely opposite of its type.
Yeah, like water and flying types, obviously.
Yeah.
Dragon type moves, electric type moves, and then when your opponent
fire. You can get Fire Blast.
I know, ice type moves, dark type moves, ghost type moves.
It's very versatile, definitely.
And if your opponent brings out an electric type to counter it, Earthquake.
Which is weird. I'm always trying to figure out how it does it. Well, it's kind of like Diglett having Scratch. Makes no sense.
No. But yeah, Gyarados is one of those Pokemon. It's got really, really good stats. And if it's got a move for pretty much every type that you can come across. So
yeah, you can learn generally every kind of type. I think the only types it really can't learn are fighting.
No, it can learn fighting types.
Which one?
Moves like Strength.
That's normal.
Oh, it is, isn't it? I'm sure
you might be able to Rock Smash.
I think Rock Smash is a fighting type move that it can learn.
It is, I know that, but I might be able to learn it. I'm not sure, and I don't want to just go flip through all of this shit. I don't know, it might learn it, but I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it can. But yeah.
Who knows?
You're number 2.
Gengar, hands down.
Oh, Gengar's nice. Just about missed out on... Amazing. Actually, you know what? I actually prefer Haunter to Gengar, but only just a little bit.
Okay, design-wise, Haunter I like more, but overall, aesthetic plus how useful it is, and it has a kick-ass Mega Form.
It does.
And it's shiny mega, like behemoth of a form. It's just something you can't pass up. The
I
Ghost
was gonna
Poison
say
type,
Gengar's shiny Mega Form is better than his regular Mega.
Ghost Poison typing is pretty decent. However, it's really weak to Psychic types. Like it's 4 times weak to Psychic, so that destroys it. Dark typing, yeah, you bring a Dark type against it, it's gonna falter pretty hard.
Yeah.
But as far as it's used for elemental moves and just like the ghost type moves it learns and poison moves, you've got a pretty good arsenal to go with. And stat wise, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Not to mention, it looks kick ass in a Pokemon tournament. It's really fun to use. I like them. Yeah, Gengar, it's not really much else to say about it. It's a kick ghost type Pokemon. It's one of the first, real big competitive ghost type Pokemon until later games. And it's still a fan favorite and still one that's in rotation today.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people are going to disagree about Gengar's usefulness.
No. Now for number 1, I think this is where it gets the interesting part. So let's see, what's your number 1 Kanto region?
Yeah, what's my number 1 Kanto region? Even though you know what this is going to be.
I might or might not. You'd be surprised.
It's my favorite Pokemon there is. It's the beastie final evolution starter Charizard.
Oh yeah, you're going that way. Okay, and I can see why.
Charizard is my favorite Pokemon. So
hey, I'm not saying anything against it. I like Charizard. He's awesome. And he's again really awesome in Pokemon. You know how to use him. Smash not as much. I'm not a fan of Smash. He doesn't control that well.
I get why a lot of people are starting to turn against Charizard, especially over the last few years.
Everyone likes him, and it's just kind of like, well, I'm edgy.
Not just that. I do think it was a bit unfair that Blastoise and Venusaur only got 1 Mega Form. Charizard got 2.
It was a way to sell games, to sell both versions.
Yeah.
It worked for me. Though I will say this, I prefer Mega Charizard X because it's a Fire Dragon type and it's kick ass.
That's the black one with the flames coming out of its mouth. Yeah.
But I ran a decently well trained Charizard Y, and it's shiny and it's purple. It's kick ass.
Purple.
And it works. Yeah, when it's shiny Charizard Mega evolves into Charizard Y, it's purple.
See, I had Pokemon Y, but I traded for a Charizard, and it was holding Charizard X.
Yeah.
So when I played through Y, I had the better Mega Charizard.
Yeah, it depends on what you're using for. Because Charizard X is a physical attacker, and Y is a special attacker. And I wanted Y for this specific reason. Is I was using them in double battles, and I team them up with Trevenant. And it's really awesome because I use Trevenant. I use Charizard Y's Drought ability, which automatically puts in Sun. So you already got Sunny Day going. And Trevenant's ability, they use, I'm trying to remember the name. The berry, it uses it, has a chance, when it's in sunlight, to bring out the berry, to regrow it. And it can use it over and over again. So you use like a citrus berry, I think it was citrus, or whichever one gives it the most health. And then I use Trevenant to turn other Pokemon into grass types, because it has one of its moves that does that. Nature's Curse, I think is what it's called. So I turn to grass, and then it's just Heat Wave. And not to mention, Fly works really well. It's still flying types to get stabbed. But it's a good special attacker. And Charizard, honestly, is a really awesome design Pokemon for it being more along the lines of the European Dragon design.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm stealing your thunder on Charizard there. I do Pokemon. Okay. Old school Gen 1.
Go on then, what's your number 1 from Gen 1?
Mine's actually the opposite of yours. And also an early form, Squirtle. I'm sorry. I just enjoy Squirtle. I think part of it is I grew up loving the Ninja Turtles, so that's part of it. I have a bias towards like awesome things. And then the anime kind of, painted my view of Squirtle.
What, the Squirtle Squad?
Oh yeah, Squirtle Squad. And just Squirtle's attitude. He's a bit of a troll. If you remember when they're on the island alone, they got like the subtext going while they're talking. He's like intentionally trying to scare him, being a little asshole. I love it. But it's just such a really interesting, simple design. And while I do like when it involves reward roll, I still like that design. Blastoise is still a bit clunky, but I like it. But Squirtle just really kind of to me over the years. And at one point, I would have said Charizard was my favorite, but it's just as I've gotten older and as time has gone on, Squirtle's kind of pitched them out as far as Gen 1 stuff. So while I do still enjoy Charizard a lot, still use them, I just love having a Squirtle. I mean, I've got the plush sitting up there off camera, but yeah, Squirtle's my favorite of the Kanto region, hands down. Most of it's just aesthetics, though. He's not horribly useful unless you're doing Little Cup.
Yeah. But to be fair, his Evolution Blastoise is also a fucking badass.
He's tanky as hell, especially when Mega Evolves. Woo!
and you know, actually, speaking of starters as well, everyone hates Bulbasaur. I'm actually a big fan of Bulbasaur.
Linkara from Channel Awesome, he actually loves Bulbasaur. He's a big Bulbasaur guy. The thing with Bulbasaur is it's easy mode in the original games, and I don't know how many people actually knew that growing up. I know I didn't, but it's just one of those things where you use them. The first 3 gems are nothing. I mean, you got a rock type gem, grass goes through it. Water type gem, grass goes through it. Though you have to be careful with Starmie and that because of Psychic.
Yeah.
That's your bark poison.
Yeah.
And then you go against Surge, you're resistant. After that, you're not going to have much use with your poison typing.
Especially with Sabrina.
And, yeah, Sabrina, Koga, and Erica, you're not going to be of much use.
Blaine as well is going to kick your ass.
Oh, yeah. So it's easy early game. But going beyond that, Squirtle is usually kind of medium. Because you got the first gym out of the way, you're good. You're resistant to the second gym, but third gym, you're screwed.
Yeah.
But if you go Charmander, you're screwed.
Well, I mean, apart from Erica. Erica, to be fair.
Well, no, I mean, you're screwed from the get-go. Like, early on, you're having a hard time.
Yeah.
So,
I can't remember what I actually did for Generation 1, like in Red and Blue, to get past Brock, because I always beat Charmander.
Oh, I did too. In fact, my first time playing, I used a friend's copy and I tested it out. I chose Charmander, and then I got my own copy of Red and Charmander. So I went through the game with Charmander and evolving him. I really don't remember what I did. It's been so long.
No, because I know that my Pokemon Yellow trick with Butterfree never actually worked in Red and Blue, because you evolve Metapod into Butterfree and it didn't know Confusion as soon as it evolved.
Not really. No, it didn't did it.
That was just something they added in Yellow,
but yeah, I think I just ended up embering a lot because it didn't have rock moves really back then for Gen 1. It just be like tackle and bide. Bide was the big thing it used.
I think my strategy was to just stay in the Viridian Forest until I evolved Charmander into Charmeleon and then just overpower Brock. I think that was my strategy.
That problem, but I never had that issue. I never went that far. But the problem was you have to be careful if you do it too much, because then he just doesn't listen. So,
yeah.
Who knows?
Well, as long as you don't go past sort of like level 20, it wasn't really much of an issue.